with caution.
What's up, my drunken fighters? Caution here, and welcome back to another video. Before we get into it, I just want to give you guys a huge shout out and a quick thanks for my appreciation for all of you following and all of that, liking my content. I'm very grateful. And yeah, what else could I say? The best thing I can tell you guys is, you know, let's drink to that. So cheers. Welcome back to another caution video. This time I'm gonna showcase you guys some more Jamie tech that I've discovered or learned from other players over the past few weeks. Now, I'm gonna try and do my best to showcase you guys every single month an update on what Jamie's capable of, but without further ado, let's get into some of the tech. So, first of all, I want to showcase a combo that I've shown before, but I've actually realized that it's a pretty good combo and I started to use it a lot more. So, standing roundhouse punish counter. Yes, we're back. So I talked about this before. If you get at max range, for example, sometimes you're too far away to get the crouching pierce. Now, my other option was to go for this one. And the reason why I really started to like this one right now is, for example, for a specific matchup. Not only does it give you a drink level, you could obviously get the same result with this one, for example, and even get one more. You'd be like, yeah, caution, why would I use this one? Well, first of all, the other one is cheaper. You only have to spend DR into Tensei Kick, but it's more about the corner carry. And the reason why I really like this, just like I said for matchups, specifically Guile, for example, Guile can make our lives a living hell. Same with Dalsim. So if we actually can get a combo that puts them from mid-screen into the corner and ends us with that sweep +4 on their wake up and gives us a drink level, then I will take that over doing OD Palm. So if I would go for OD Palm against Guile, it's gonna put us almost full screen. Now he hit the corner, but mid-screen we would be somewhere about here. And you know, I would rather have a drink level less. Like, even if we get 2, yes, we get Bakai to go through Sonic Boom, but I would prefer to be here and keep him pressured. And this brings us to our next kind of combos. So once again, that standing fierce into sweep juggle becomes really handy dandy. And it's the same situation with Drive Impact, for example. So if we get Drive Impact, you could go for OD Palm once again into sweep. But that spends us 3 gauges in total, 1 for Drive Impact and 2 for OD Palm. So we can also do this instead. There we go. So you start with standing light kick and you go into standing fierce once again into the sweep. It's cheaper and you get the same result because we're only doing OD Palm in the corner for 2 reasons. Either to link it to level 3 super or to go into sweep. And this is way cheaper and gives us the same result, +4 drink level and much more moves unlocked. Now, to stay on this topic with OD Palm, don't forget OD Palm obviously can still be good in the corner with the sweep. You know, it's not, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. However, sometimes you might actually miscalculate, and this can happen. You're too far to get the sweep, and like maybe you interpreted the screens, the stage length. You thought it was shorter, and you thought it was going to be in the corner, but it didn't happen. Well, luckily you can redeem yourself and actually go for the exact same combo after Drive Impact. There we go, and you can get the same result. So if you see this happening, for example, just raw DR, standing light kick, standing fierce into sweep, and you're good to go. So let's keep talking about the sweep. The sweep is, in my opinion, the best move that Jamie actually has in terms of pressure. And the reason for that is I actually talked about this in my how to approach with Jamie, the neutral video, is that I talked about the subject. Sometimes it is you have to make a decision if you want to go for pressure or if you want to go for another drink level and give up your Oki. But the perfect and the most ideal situation is if we could combine those two And actually sweep is the perfect way of doing that, especially in the corner. Actually only in the corner, because it gives us +4 on their wake up and also a drink level. So it allows us, for example, to just get a meaty throw. So if we would put him on crouching light punch on wake up, for example, he will get beat out clean. So yeah, and we get the drink level. So sweep is the most ideal situation, and it actually works the same with, for example, OD dive kick. So as you can see, if I actually hit him during the OD dive kick after he collapses to the ground, you can see that our advantage becomes +5 or +6 instead. And that's actually really interesting, because you guys all know what that means, right? That means we can actually go for command grab instead. So if we put him on, once again, on crouching light punch, you have to delay the sweep just a little bit. There it is. There it is. And we can beat his jab as well. So this is super good because it gives us a drink level, and it creates a 50-50 mix-up for our opponent, where we can go for command grab, where we from there on out can go into light kick Bekai and get the save jump. Because very interestingly, the save jumps work really weird. So if we look at the frame data, this one was sent to me by someone who watches my videos on YouTube. I highly appreciate you sending that, because I actually never thought it would work like that. But you can see our advantage is +42. So that means +42 frames is what we want, at least. It's between 42 and 45 if I'm not mistaken, because if we get more than that, which I could showcase, I think. Let's see how much we get here. Also +42. There are ways to showcase this. Oh yeah, wait, I can actually show this, I think. Hang on. I'm actually trying to be innovative right now, because this was not planned to show. Yeah, +45. I wonder if 45 frames is still enough to get that save jump. Perfect example. There it is. So actually, that was way too much frame advantage. The reason for that is, yes, we do block the OD Shoryuken, but our jumping heavy punch actually whiffs. See? And so if he would do throw on wake up just to, you know, get ready to take a throw, then we would actually be thrown instead of getting our save jump setup. So the frame data completely changes if they're airborne. Also, in my drive impact video, for example, let's put him on OD Shoryuken. Remember I showed you guys the side switch, this one for example. So I'm just gonna put him off OD. I hope I'm still in time. Yes, so as you can see here, this setup gives you 40 frames advantage. So that's actually not enough. Here it is. We get the OD Shoryuken connects, and we actually lose our save jump. Now, I did find a way to restore my, you know, this combo, and it works very interestingly. So as you can see, now we actually do get the save jump back by DRing it into crouching medium punch. Now, it still hits airborne, but for some reason, you know, we get it back. So it's so interestingly how Bekai actually works. And I think it has to do with the first hit of Bekai having to hit. Otherwise, the situation would not work. It's the same with light kick, arrow kick, for example. So I will come back to this with the frame advantage when we go into our level 3 super topic. But for now, we're gonna close this chapter and focus more onto our dive kick. So I actually found a specific situation where you can actually get a Meaty Divekick and leave you +2 on block. So after, if you get a Light Kick Bakai, if you forward jump into Light Kick Divekick, and it's almost where you're at your maximum height of your jump, where you cancel into the Light Kick Divekick, you can actually be +2 on block. Let's put him on block. That's pretty important. There it is. That's the one I want to showcase. So, +2 on block. So I discovered this very recently, so that's why I'm still a little bit rusty in getting the timing right. So as you can see, if you do it too early, you will get the you will whiff. But +2. And this is really interesting because normally, if you actually want plus dive kicks, you actually have to hit them on the foot or on the knee or lower. I think it's on the knee or lower to actually be 0 on block, so to not have a disadvantage. But if you actually want plus frames, there it is. You have to hit him on his foot to get the +2. But if you actually get the timing right with the Bakai, like, it doesn't actually hit on his foot. It hits way higher up. And the reason why this is important is because experienced players, they will know how dive kicks works. It's the same with Camis. It was the same with Yun in Street Fighter 4, and it was the same for Cami in Street Fighter 5 as well. So experienced players will actually be able to tell how high your dive kick hit, and they will be like, "Oh, that was way too high. I can challenge this and I can beat him." But not with this specific setup. So in visual way, it is very deceiving for your opponent, because if we both go for crouching jab, they will obviously lose the engagement because we're +2. The dive kick is, of course, not safe against OD Shoryuken, but you know, if you get a good read on your opponent, I'm sure you guys can make this work, and maybe you guys can come up with better situations as well, because his dive kick is actually way better than a lot of people first thought. But it's a little bit harder to use than, for example, Camis. Alright, now since we just explained that we can get a setup off of Light Kick Arrow Kick, let's keep going with Light Kick Arrow Kick, shall we? So actually you can get a really nice situation as well with Command Grab. So if we go for Light Kick Arrow Kick and with a Crouching Fierce, we are +6 on their wake up, and you guys already know where this is going, right? +5 to +7 magic numbers for Jamie to get a meaty command grab. There it is. So if you don't want to go for the save jump and you want to make him guess, then there's a beautiful 50-50 mix up for you guys. And you can actually rinse and repeat it, right? We can keep it going. There we go, and then we do go for the save jump and something like that. It's super interesting. So yeah, it's really easy to do Light Kick, Arrow Kick, go straight into Crouching Fierce, and you will be +6 on their wake up. Alright, so once again, talking about our drink level in the corner and how we can utilize this. Now, in some situations, our freeze frame for level 4 will actually give us more frame advantage. It's interesting that it doesn't apply to this for sweep. So if we go for sweep, we will still be, if our Ryu actually worked along, that would be nice, we will still be +4. But you all know that if we are in the corner with Rekka, let me just put myself on a little bit less drink level to showcase this. So -1, right? But with freeze frame, +22. So that's an entire different situation for us. So if you are actually on 3 drink levels, you can go for this specific setup that I found. So as you can see, after the freeze frame into a withstanding light kick, you already know where this is going. +7 command grab range, yes sir. So use those freeze frames, those extra plus freeze frames from getting into level 4. Use that to your advantage, because once again, you will provide a beautiful mix-up for your opponent. Now, staying on this subject with freeze frame, there is also a way to do that with level 1. So level 1 allows us to be +20 frames. So I haven't found anything for this, but I'm sure if you guys lab it or anyone else, you'll be able to find something. And yeah, like that means that actually going for level 1 super into drink level on, if you have 3 drink levels, that actually becomes interesting. Because normally level 1 super ending into drink level will put you on -1. And that's definitely not something that we want. However, if talking about level 1 super, look at the frame data if we do let it rock. Yes sir, it is +7 once again. So that actually means we give them a 50-50 mix-up yet again. If we go into level 1 super, meaning we can go into command grab or anything like that, or go for a standing medium punch, for example. So once again, it's a 50-50 for your opponent. Okay, so we're still in the corner. We've got them cornered. We are putting up the pressure, and we are going for our throw loops. Now, you all know how these throw loops work. And what is the perfect way to counter those. So obviously we can get our throw loop going, and it will beat mashing jab because we get a meaty throw. So every single time, if I time it correctly, like I hate that I'm making statements and then it doesn't work. But as you can see here, you know, when timed correctly, there it is. We're gonna beat crouching jab every single time. However, there is something that the opponent can do against it. So as you can see, forward jump actually beats out the throw loop. Back jump could also work, but in that situation, I would say that forward jump is stronger. It's a bigger guess, obviously, because jump will lose to a meaty. But backwards jump is easier to punish because we can just go for Bekai. You know, we can, you know, he's gonna make a mistake because, you know, that's gonna, even if you whiff the throw, you can still recover in time and get the Bekai. So yeah, that's why I believe forward jump is way better, because that's gonna make it harder. However, we can actually punish this as well. So the reason why this is important, because if you, let me showcase something once more. If you go for crouching light punch, you can actually stop this with doing dash as well. But I'm gonna showcase you guys a little bit of a difference here in terms of frame data. So if we actually go for throw into dash, we are +4, which is actually the ideal situation to get a throw. The reason why I feel like dash could work, like it's put you on +4, so it is the perfect, it's the perfect timing to give you a meaty throw, but it also denies you of other options. So if I just slightly walk forward and go for throw, I can get the same result. But as you can see, I can also beat their jab with a standing medium punch, and that would not be the case if I go for the jab, if I go for dash forward after forward throw. As you can see, then the crouching light punch would whip. So actually you limit yourself by going for, you can get a trade combo, that is possible, but it feels like to me you're pretty much more in control if you go for the walk forward. Now we can actually, coming back to the subject, we can also punish the forward jump. There we go. So what I just did there is, it's actually fairly easy. So the best way you can actually practice is put forward jump and crouching light punch on at the same time. So what I actually do is after a throw, I go for the throw again, but I actually hold up as well. And the reason for that is if our throw would whiff because our opponent does forward jump, on the first available frame, we will jump backwards because I'm holding up. But if we actually do get the throw, then obviously we don't jump. So as you can see on my inputs here, I'm gonna walk forward and I hold up. And nothing happens. And if we add forward jump to that, there we go. So as you can see, we actually got the side switch. That's why I did drive rush into crouching jab, so we can dash underneath, get the side switch, and still be in time to get a meaty standing medium punch and beat them if they go for a wake up. So this way we can actually punish forward jump and put them back into the corner and put them in the exact same situation. So if you want to practice this, because it's not easy to do, but you know, you just have to get muscle memory, put on these two options and practice holding up while you throw. That way you'll get the best timing to punish. Now, next up is our level 3. So once again, I found a couple of new, I've seen a couple of new, and I found a couple of new enders that you can do after level 3 to either get more drink levels or to get a safe jump. Now I talked about this early in the video, is that if you hit airborne with light kick Bekai or light kick arrow kick, that the frame data changes and we not always get a safe jump. Now to actually restore this, to actually showcase you how I used to do this, before I knew this didn't work. So this is how I used to do it, and sometimes I got lucky, however sometimes I didn't get that lucky. And that was the weird thing about it. Like, yeah, you can see that it works right now, but actually, like, sometimes it actually didn't work. So it was like, it was really, really unreliable, and you can see that once I'm explaining something is that, you know, there it is. So like sometimes depending on the timing of your light kick Bekai, you actually didn't get it. And this one was interesting. Yes, I blocked it, but once again you saw that my jumping was too early, and the jumping heavy punch would actually whiffed. So to actually change this, I found something different. There we go. So what I do now is I do a delayed crouching fierce into heavy kick Bekai. That was way too late. There we go. So that jumping heavy punch will not whiff, and we are still able to block the OD Shoryuken. Oh my god. There it is. So that's the perfect situation that you want for yourself. And it's you know, it's easy to do. You just go for the crouching fierce into heavy kick Bekai and you can get the save jump. So yeah, practice that, because you have to delay the crouching fierce slightly, very slightly, because otherwise it will hit too high up. And there we go. See, so then the jumping fierce will not whiff. Will not hit. Furthermore, if we keep going on to this subject, there's also a way to end once again into sweep. And they all work the same way. Drive rush from crouching fierce. There we go. Into light palm, into the sweep. So once again, that gives us a drink level, and if you can't kill, you know, this is a perfect way to still get the upper hand, get a drink level after your level 3 super. The last one of this super level 3 juggle reset is actually really nasty. This one works in every situation, but there is one situation where the reactions of your opponent do not matter. So if your opponent is actually in burnout and has no super art, you can go for this instead. I need to give myself super, that would be super smart. So this drive impact actually hits Meaty after a reset with crouching jab. And if they're in burnout and no super art, they cannot do anything about it. They cannot throw the drive impact because it hits Meaty, so they can't beat the startup. They don't have drive gauge, so they can't OD Shoryuken. Nothing will actually work against that. So yeah, if you do get them in burnout, you do get that level 3 situation. This is guaranteed, which means you can get your drink level and you can get your new save jump going, and we can just rinse and repeat and create new situations. So yeah, these are the 3 new resets. Either you go, they all start with raw drive rush into crouching fierce. You go to heavy kick Bakai to get the safe jump. You go into light palm into sweep to get a drink level and the pressure. And if they're in burnout, or you just want to reset in general, because I use this reset quite a bit, even if they do have drive gauge, I want to test their reactions. I want to test if they're ready or not. So if you do want to go for that drive impact reset, go also drive rush, crouching fierce, crouching jab, and cancel the crouching jab into drive impact, and you're good to go. All right, next up is going to be combos. Hell yeah. So I have showed you guys last time with the last video, I think it was during the neutral video, how to approach that. The max damage combo that I could have found was this one. Not too bad, right? It's 6,551, pretty good. However, there is a way to beat that. There you go, 6,616, a little bit more. And that is the most optimal I could found if you do not have critical art. If you do have critical art, then it works a little bit differently, obviously, because we cannot get any juggles. So you actually want to spend all your drive gauge before you go into the level 3. Ooh, 7,147. Let's go. Highest that is currently out there, I believe, with critical art. The other one was the highest out there with no critical art. Still pretty good, really decent. Really like that. And let's move on to the next combo. So the next combo is actually interesting as well. This was showcased by Desk. If you don't know who Desk is, I would highly recommend giving him a watch because his channel is amazing. He's been doing the coolest tech and combos you have ever seen in your entire life, and he has pretty much done it for every single Street Fighter game. And he showcased a very interesting combo with Jamie, and I'm gonna showcase this to you guys as well. 55 hits. And you just saw there, we actually get 2 level 2 supers in that one combo. So obviously this is a swag for swag points only, because it's not anything but optimal. But the reason why this actually works is actually very interesting, because there's a lot of interesting stuff you have to do. So I'm going to actually showcase the combo here in slow motion. And what you can see here is after the level 2 super, you have to slightly walk forward to get the standing light kick. The reason for that is otherwise your target combo will not connect. And afterwards, you can see that after the level 2 activation, I go for driver standing medium punch. And you can see here as well into the drive gauge meter that I walk forward as well. And by doing so, that grants us a small amount of drive gauge to go for 2 extra driver's cancels afterwards. So as you can see here, going for the standing fierce, target combo, standing fierce again, and we get another level 2. And also here for this level 2 super, I am walking forward slightly just to make sure that that connects. Now the reason it is actually, you actually need to walk forward to get that entire sequence going is because we need all those specific hits to build enough super to get 2 level 2 supers in a row during that combo. So once again, I'm going to try and explain this to you guys while I'm talking. It's really hard to do, but I like to challenge myself. So you don't have to get this starter, but it's the coolest starter in my opinion because you get it from standing fierce. So punish counter standing fierce, sequence, driver standing fierce. Second time you go for activation level 2, walk forward a little bit. Driver standing medium punch, walk forward. Standing fierce. Standing fierce. Level 2 again. Walk forward. And then medium punch Rekka. There we go. Let's go, boys. I like this combo so much. So yeah, you know, practice this if you want to have some fun in a cool way to beat your opponent. You know, it's a technical combo and it's a cool combo. You know, it just ticks all the bars. So with that being said, that is going to conclude our combo section. Now for the last part, this is a smaller part that we're gonna talk a little bit about perfect parry. Now I've showcased you guys a little bit what you can do with perfect parry, because if you get to you can get a punish counter off of that, and you could go for your standard route. And the reason why I picked Honda for this is Honda is the perfect example of why you need to get perfect parries. So because we all know what he's capable of, his headbutts are just annoying to punish, and his butt slams can be on +1. So the reason why this is actually really good is because we used to do something like that. I was like, yeah, this gives you 2 drink levels and, you know, they're full screen. But you can also get this without spending 2 drive gauges. There we go. Just cancel the standing heavy kick into the drinks, because the drink is considered a special move, so you can cancel that the animation of standing roundhouse. And so this is just super good to get those 2 drink levels in without needing to spend 2 drive gauges on OD palm. This works the same way for butt slam. I think this is butt slam. No, this is also headbutt. What is this? This is headbutt. Works the same way. You can also get it with the standing roundhouse, punish counter, and you're good to go. Okay, Honda, stop it. We get it. Honda, please! I'm getting flashbacks again of my Honda matchups. There we go. So if you imagine, like, the reason why I picked Honda is this is the perfect example, because you're gonna face a Honda with doing a lot of headbutts and butt slams. But imagine if you only just perfect parry 2 of those, you are already at your max drink level. So yeah, practice those parries against Edmund Honda and just go for that standing roundhouse punish counter into the drink, and you will enjoy a lot of free boosts. And with that being said, we have covered everything that I could find so far. So like I said, once again, I'm gonna try and do my best to come up with these matchup or tech videos. Actually, tech videos only. Matchup is gonna come later on, but I promise you they will be here. And I think the next one is gonna be Guile, and then afterwards we're gonna do Honda. So expect those in the future. But for now, that is all I could find for tech videos, and I'm gonna try and make these tech videos once a month to keep you guys updated with everything new that there is to discover about our drunken fellow over here. But for now, guys, don't forget, as usual, to stay cautious, and I will see you all next time. Take care.